and the language that we start using around mindset will change as well.
Like, what kind of language are you talking about?
Number one, can't is something that we won't be saying anymore. Yeah, I'm going full fascist, dude. Removing, banning all the words.
Temporary suspension of habeas corpus
Right.
in our conversations. Got it. Okay. What's up, coach?
Welcome. Welcome. I'm really excited, man.
Dude, me too. I I mean for the program, but just like the fact that I get to do it with you.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be super cool.
for sure. For sure. So it's a year long,
Mhm.
right? And as you've seen, the name of the program is Death to Dadbod.
Yeah.
Before I get into that or explain what that means to my clients and myself,
Mhm.
I want to know what that means to you and basically just your expectations for this program.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I was even looking into doing this with you in the first place is like, yeah, like I want it to be a physical thing. Like just the last couple years in fitness haven't been awesome for me. And so I want that to change, but also the thing that I see you doing more than anybody else is like discipline
Mm,
and in the whole life. And so I don't want it to just be like a, you know, grind this out for 3 months and get lean again. Because I've done that. I did that a few years ago
right,
where I
right.
just like so I know how to do that. I know how to do macros and meal prep and I know how to do splits in the gym and but to me that wasn't addressing the root cause,
Right.
which was like finding routine and finding joy inside of those disciplines,
Yeah.
I think. And I've seen you doing that. And so that's the thing. And byproduct being like being leaner and being at that fitness level
Right.
is going to be awesome.
Right.
Uh, but I see that more as like one of the fruits rather than the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, essentially, you just described the program.
so
So we could
so
just stop.
so we're lined up. Well, I think I want some more specifics than that, but
Yeah, no, 100%. So with Death to Dad Bod, I love that you want the holistic approach because when it comes to fitness, yes, the physical is usually people's goal. But oftentimes I'll turn people away if that's all that they're looking for because it
Mhm.
is much, much deeper than that. And Death to Dad Bod is it's a death to the mindset that gives you a dad bod. You know, you don't just accidentally look a certain way or end up feeling a certain way.
Mhm.
It's habits, it's your discipline, it's what you do on a daily basis. They say what you repeat daily is essentially what you are. You know, so in this program, we're going to attack your daily habits first, and from there, we'll build your physique.
Mhm.
Um, I know during the interview process, you brought up you wanting sleep, um, being one of the things that we attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most dads can
Yeah.
attest to that being rough, you know? Um, and obviously you've dealt with that almost your whole life.
Mhm.
Um, as have I, and I'm still working on it. So it'll be fun to get into that together. Screen time is something that we'll address as well. Um,
Yeah.
and both of us being, content driven creators, that's going to
Yeah.
be something that we'll have to do in a very like smart way, obviously, because we still have to provide for our families.
Yeah.
But there are boundaries that we can set to just live a healthier lifestyle in general. So
Yeah. Man, I feel like one of the things that has taken me, like, kind of a while to get to the spot of, like, reaching out to do this thing
mm,
is that I feel like I feel proud of myself for a lot of things.
nice.
It just in terms of, like, the ministry that I do. I work really hard on that and have produced quite a bit of really good uh, content and have traveled around the world and done that. And I'm providing for my family and stuff like that. But I think it's just taking a step back and realizing that, like, I don't have it all figured out
Yeah.
and that I'm not doing it in the best way and that I'm not taking care of myself the best, and as a result, I think that's trickling down
Yeah. Yeah.
to my family. Um, so I think that that was something that was hard for me to, like, admit to myself and then out loud
Mhm.
to be like, "Yeah, this isn't it."
Yeah.
Um, and also just to be like to come to the realization that, like, "Oh, I gained a little bit of weight or I wasn't in the gym as much," and that's not just a phase because there's part of me that's still like I'm 35 now, but I don't feel mentally all that different from when I was, like, 25
Right.
and just, like, effortlessly in shape and could do whatever I wanted all the time,
Yeah.
and so you look in the mirror and go like, that's not me." So there's a certain amount of denial, I think, that I had to get past,
Right, right.
and, like, I don't know, embarrassment. I don't know what all the terms are in terms of, like, looking at your body and seeing stuff like that because, I with anybody else, my wife, my kids, my family, anything like that, it's easy to be gracious and encouraging,
Mhm.
but for some reason with yourself, it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a new thing for me. So,
Yeah, oftentimes we are our biggest critic, you know? And to your point, it sounds like you're explaining dissonance, um, and what that can create is frustration and almost like a feeling of, like, hopelessness. And with this program, the goal with you is going to be not to necessarily shed off all these bad parts of you, but almost to reintegrate parts that you've almost forgotten or left behind in order to pursue ministry or, provide for the kids and stuff like that.
mhm,
Because it's all there. We just have to put it back together. You know what I mean? Um, and again, we're going to do that through daily habits and stuff like that. So,
mhm.
um, yeah, man, I'm really excited to get started with you. And I think we should get into the first. We're gonna break this up into quarters, essentially.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, let's do it.
okay, cool. So, quarter one, month 1 through 3, we're gonna be working on foundation. Okay, and with that being said, the disciplines that we're gonna be working on, it's not gonna come in super hot. Okay, so screen time, for example,
Mhm,
we're gonna start with check-ins as far as daily check-ins.
mhm.
I want screenshots of screen time.
Okay.
And we're going to set goals around your work and then obviously leave in time for scrolling. It's not going to be like, all right, here we go. No more scrolling. This is what it is, because
Yeah.
that's not fun. Um, so we'll start with that. As far as sleep, I'm going to get you on a supplement program
Okay.
to make sure that internally you're set up for success. And then externally, we'll go ahead and kind of comes back to screen time as well.
Mhm.
Take the phone away about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Make sure you're getting plenty of water and just little things like that that we'll go ahead and add into the program to get you on track.
So we're just codifying all the things that we already know are healthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
All that stuff that you've heard that's healthy for you, do
We're
that.
gonna do it. Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of this will come from almost an identity shift. So in the beginning, we're gonna start with I do hard things because this is who I'm becoming, you
Mhm,
know. And as we progress throughout the year, my goal for you and yours should be too, is in December is this is who I am and this is what I do.
mhm.
And once we get to that point, there is no more like maybe I'll do it tomorrow or this is rough or I don't like this. It's like this is, you know, I mean, you've watched me through the holidays and all the cake and all that stuff.
Mhm,
And when I first started, it was dude, it was rough. And not to say that you need to cut that stuff out to be successful or whatever, but I've gotten to a point where it's like that's just not who I am. So like I'm not going to do that. Of course not. And my goal is to get there with you, and that doesn't have to be with cake or
yeah.
anything like that, but what has been holding you back or the things that you've been allowing in your life. So things like nicotine, alcohol, um, and things like that is what we'll address.
Yeah. Well, I know that you and have talked about this, and I this wasn't part of the program necessarily at first, although I think it's a good thing. But the first discipline that I'm gonna like sacrifice something for the sake of this is just no alcohol for 2026.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not like a that's holding me back from providing for my family, or like I'm always getting drunk and hungover or anything like that, but it's something that I've found that has been more of like, oh, if I need to relax, this is what I'm doing. It's like a go-to
Yeah. A crutch.
for that. And I kind of want to eliminate that. I mean, both for the psychological side in terms of like I don't need this thing,
Mhm.
but also just like calories wise
Yeah.
and metabolism and health and sleep and all of that. It seems like the most logical thing to cut out. So
It's one of like the
that's what I'm
most
committing to for
hard
year.
things and easy things to cut out. Like it's one of the best things to cut out is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is it hits all of those markers. So
Yeah.
sleep, calories, how you're feeling, even mental clarity and stuff throughout the day past the point where you were drinking, you know.
Mhm.
So it's something that I've cut out as well. And I think that the effects of it are amazing.
Mhm.
And for people listening, there's not necessarily an issue with drinking, you know. Both of us are men of faith, so I don't want people listening being like, all right, well, if I drink, I'm going to hell or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
However you can
No,
misconstrue that.
yeah.
It is about the discipline itself, and doing it with that type of intent is much different than assuming it's sinful or whatever.
Yeah, and if we're addressing the fact that there's people all over this spectrum.
Mhm.
Like there's people who are like this is a huge thing, and like there are programs that are super helpful
Right.
for stuff like that. I don't feel like that's necessarily my category. I think this is something that is going to be a good thing for me to sacrifice and then reevaluate, and maybe I'll come back at a spot where it's, something that I can see as, a celebration rather than like a something I need in order to relax
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe not. I don't know. That'll be something that sort of unfolds, but
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of times with my clients, I like to set uh, things to essentially like conquer, you
Mhm.
know, and not to say that alcohol has some crazy hold on your life, but I'll use myself for
Mhm.
example. Nicotine is a huge crutch for me, something that I use at the end of the day or even throughout the day with having two under two. Um, the pressures of providing for a family, it can be a lot.
Yeah.
Just got out of prep. So nicotine is kind of my go to. But having something that has that much control over me, aside from my own mind and God, in my opinion, is not necessarily wrong, but is inhibiting me from being the best man that I can be.
Yeah.
So why not try to be that, and cut
Mhm.
that out? So this isn't about legalism or shame anybody for what they do, but just trying to be the best versions of ourselves
Yeah.
and conquering things that have control over us
Yeah. And doing hard things just
to do 'em.
to know that you can.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
All right, so you're saying we're doing quarters. The first one is
Setting the foundation, essentially.
foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna walk into that identity shift. um, we're also gonna establish some primary goals, establish non-negotiables. So with that being said, it'll be things like a certain bedtime to get you in a routine, certain times to work out, which I know will be hard.
Mhm.
And just removing alcohol completely. And then reducing screen dependency as well. Those will be some of the first things that we go ahead and tackle.
Mhm.
From a strength training standpoint, we're going to do 3 to 4 days, starting nice and slow.
Mhm.
Not to say easy, but just slow. And the language that we start using around mindset will change as well. So, little things as far as how we speak to each other. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I this is new to me.
Mhm.
Like, what kinda language are you talking about?
Yeah. So, number one, can't is something that we won't be saying anymore. Um, Yeah, I'm going full fascist, dude. Removing, banning all the words.
temporary suspension of habeas corpus
Right.
in our conversations. Got it. Okay.
um, Starting tomorrow, things like that, and just like excuses in general. So, like, if I check in with you and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Hey, Joe, how did your workout go yesterday?" Or "Did you hit your water goal?" Or whatever.
Mhm,
It's going to be accountability and responsibility first, as
mhm.
far as your response, and even how I approach you as well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear like, "Ah, man, I had to pick up Tolkien from school," or "This happened," or "This happened," or "This happened."
Yeah.
I want you to be assuming accountability and control over as much as you possibly can over the situations in your life.
Mhm,
And that starts with how you speak about those situations
mhm.
and how you perceive them.
Yeah.
Because any excuse that you have is going to be 100% real, you know, if that's what you're using, you know.
Mhm.
That's what I try to tell people is your excuses are valid as long as you believe them. Um, so the way that we speak to ourselves is going to change. And that will also give you more confidence as once you start following through. We touched on a little bit earlier, like looking in the mirror and being like, oh, that's not me, or whatever. This will help stack those daily habits from a mindset standpoint first.
Mhm.
And when you look in the mirror and that identity shift starts to happen um, and reflect in your body, it just all kind of comes together.
Yeah. Start seeing the actual physical benefits of that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I'm on board.
Awesome. And then we can get into like Q2, Q3, Q4 later.
Okay.
But for the outcomes of quarter one, uh, I wanted to go over these goals with you and see what you thought.
Yeah.
So obviously, stronger, leaner, better energy.
Mhm.
That's again a byproduct of what we're going to be doing. Um, Alcohol no longer being a crutch,
Mhm.
and in 3 months, super doable, especially since it's not really an issue for you. And just proof that consistency is possible. I think when you're first starting out, and sometimes no matter where you are on your fitness journey, um, that consistency can seem super daunting. Like, wait, I have to do this every single day.
Mhm.
Um, so just stacking up proof, which will create confidence as well. And this is when the identity change will happen as well. So those are my goals for you, and I just want to hear what you have for me, and then what you think about those as well.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I do pretty well with things that are concrete.
Mm,
So rather than saying, like, stronger and leaner, getting getting, like, a little more specific
yeah, get some numbers in there.
about stuff like that. And I know that you've got the, like, the nutrition and all that, so we can go through more of that
Mhm,
coming up, but I think that'll be helpful for me to be like, like, what's the goal in terms of, like, weight loss per week, or, like
100%.
how long are we gonna cut for
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool.
So I think that'll be helpful.
Yeah. So I mean, super quick. The first 1 to 3 months will be in a deficit.
Mhm,
I'm going to start you at maintenance to begin with,
mhm,
just to get a baseline of where your consistency is at, where you're struggling as far as nutrition.
mhm.
And then from there, we'll either do minus 250 or minus 500 per week, which will yield us about zero point 0.5 to a pound of fat loss each
Mhm,
week. And with you specifically, we're going to be doing like a body recomposition. So it's not going to be just um, fat loss focused.
mhm.
That will be a byproduct, but we are going to be aiming for lean muscle mass. So at the end of Q1, the goal is 2.5 to 5 pounds of lean muscle mass built.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I've never done any recomp type of stuff like that before.
Yeah.
I've done just fat loss a couple of times
Mhm.
where it's like, but but again, that's a different mindset. That's just
Yeah.
like a white knuckle it
Yeah.
through 6 to 12 weeks of
Right.
just like, get this off me.
Right. And the reason why I prefer to do it that way is because, I mean, as you know, the more lean muscle mass you have, the higher metabolic rate that you have.
Mhm,
So it's just a better ROI on one, your time, and
mhm,
us as dads don't have a whole lot to give.
mhm.
And it keeps you from yo yoing over time.
Yeah.
So, for example, each cut gets easier and easier because you just have more lean muscle mass. So you're not going to have to like white knuckle it.
Yeah.
It gets to a point like once you know your numbers and lock in, it just starts to fall off. And you want things
Yeah.
as fathers, busy fathers, to
Mhm.
be as efficient as possible.
Yeah. So two questions. One is that I just and this is more from kinda yo-yoing around
Mm,
a little bit for the last several years, is that I've found that, like, I feel the best in my body when I'm around, like, 195.
okay.
Like, that's when my I don't know. I don't know if it's just, like, my frame or, like, the amount of muscle mass that I've had or what that is, you can tell me.
Yeah.
But that's, like, when I felt the best in my body in terms of, like, feeling strong, but also able to move.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm, depending on the day, between, like, 215 and 220
Okay.
right now. So I'm super down for the recomp and see, like, how I feel. But
Hmm.
just so you know, that's, like, where I've felt the best
Nice.
in terms of, like, holding mass. So that's thing one. Thing two is that, a couple months ago, I started, rock climbing again with my son.
Love it.
Um,
Love it.
yeah, and so that's something I really wanna keep doing. Um, and so, in terms of doing the strength training 3, 4 times a week,
Mm,
I I would love to do that because I also like working out by myself,
yeah.
but I also wanna make sure that I, like, when we get to, like, nutrition and things like that, that it's factored in that I still wanna we usually climb 2, 3 times a week
Yeah.
together also.
100%. And I mean, with strength training and cardio as well, you always want to pick what you like to do, especially if you're going to do it for a long time.
Mhm.
Me personally, I love to lift, so that's what I do. But
Yeah.
that's not everybody's thing. Um, a lot of times I'll mix like boxing in for people that like to fight, rock climbing and stuff like that. So with you doing that 3, 4 times a week, it can be almost more like hybrid training instead of just strength training, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we can split it up. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys do have weights at the climbing gym.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they got a squat rack and barbells, so for, like, bench press,
More
they've
than
got
enough.
dumbbells up to 100 pounds and
Nice.
some cables and stuff,
Yeah.
so,
So we can 100% do a hybrid program.
yeah. They don't have a ton of they do have a sled,
Okay.
which is kinda cool. Um, but yeah,
There's like 100 leg things that we could do at a squat rack aside from squatting.
yeah.
Because we will be addressing previous injuries and stuff like that as well. So
Yeah, that's another thing, and I know that you know this, but just in case people are watching this,
yeah,
I broke my back in 2017, and so I can't do back squats, I can't do deadlifts.
right,
Um, I can do some supported row stuff, but I can't do the, like, fully bent over barbell rows.
right.
So there's some limitations that I have, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're able to work with that too.
100%. We'll address that, work around it, and get you where you need to be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. I'm excited. Thanks thanks for putting all this in. I know that this is coming right after your competition, so just, like, the fact that you've been working on this so much is huge.
Yeah, man. I'm like super happy to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's what I live for. So helping fathers not only achieve a physical goal, but more importantly, feeling happy and confident and strong and powerful in their own bodies is what this is about. Because if you can affect a father like that, you can affect a family. If you can affect a family, you can affect society. And it's just my way to um, try to do what God put me here to do. So
Awesome, dude.
all that to say, thanks for allowing me to be your coach.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get after it.
let's do it, bro.
All right.